Have you ever had a teacher with literally no common sense? I knew my teacher had no common sense the moment she accused me for answering a question too correctly. Her name was Miss Carter, and she had this obsession with catching cheaters. Not actual cheaters, just anyone who did slightly better than average. It started during a history quiz. I'd studied all night, memorized everything, even read extra stuff online because I actually like history. So when the quiz came back, I got a perfect score. But instead of saying good job, she called me up to her desk like I'd committed a crime. Did you copy this? She asked, tapping my paper. I laughed because I thought she was joking. She wasn't. These answers are too detailed, she said. You went beyond what I taught in class? Yeah, that's what studying is. I tried explaining that I'd read ahead in the textbook, even watched a documentary, but she just shook her head like she'd already made up her mind. I'll let this one slide, she said, but don't try it again. Don't try. What, learning? After that, I realized something. Doing well in her class was actually a risk. So for the next assignment, I tested it. I wrote a completely average essay. Nothing special. Basic vocabulary, short sentences, no extra insight. When she handed it back, I got a B with a smiley face. That's when I knew. This wasn't about cheating. She just didn't understand what real effort looked like. But the breaking point came during our final project. We had to present on any historical figure, so I chose Marie Curie. I went all in. Slides, research, even included stuff about radiation that wasn't in our syllabus. I practiced for days. When I finished presenting, the class actually clapped. Ms. Carter didn't. She just stared at me and said, "Stay after class." I already knew what was coming. You didn't make this yourself, she said flatly. At that point, I was done being polite. So what exactly is your logic? I asked. If I do average, I'm fine. If I do well, I'm cheating? She didn't even answer. Just repeated, "I need you to be honest." So I pulled out my notebook, pages and pages of handwritten notes, drafts, timelines, everything. "I've been working on this for a week," I said. "You've literally seen me writing in class." She barely looked at it. That's when I realized something worse than her having no common sense. She didn't want to be wrong. The next day, I brought my older sister with me. She's in university, way calmer than me, but even she was confused after hearing everything. She asked Miss Carter one simple question. "What kind of proof would convince you?" And Miss Carter actually said, "She can present again, right now, no notes." So I did. Same topic, no slides, no preparation, just stood there and talked for 10 minutes straight. When I finished, the room was dead silent. Miss Carter finally said, "Okay, that was it. No apology, no acknowledgement, just okay." My grade got changed to an A a few days later. But here's the funniest part. After that, a bunch of students actually started cheating, because in her class, it didn't matter whether you worked hard or not. You were guilty either way. And honestly, that's the real reason she had no common sense.